Okay, we are in the start state, and in the start state we have this text display that will display start, and when we go through the case structure we'll get to the first select. The first select says that if the ultrasonic sensor is less than 20 centimeters away from an object, then the object will spin for 3 seconds. I'm just going to switch to the spin state. In the spin state, this timer times it to 3,000 seconds or greater, and if that's true, it will go back to the start state unless we press the PSI, which would stop the program, and take it to the stop state. And once that PSI is released, it would go back to start. So now we're back in start, and the second state it can go to is the reverse state. And then in the reverse state, if it detects white, the motors will spin in reverse for 1 second. And once it reaches that 1 second, we'll go back to the start state unless the PSI is pressed. In that case, it would stop. And once that's released, we would go back to start. And then the very last state is stop, which if the PSI is pressed, it would stop. If it's released, it would start again. And we have this display that displays the proximity of the robot to an object. It takes in a float and displays it on the second line of the screen. We also have timers that will reset the timer for the spin and the timer for the reverse state. The motors are connected to port A and port B. In the start state, it will search. One motor is less than the other, so it will do a slight turn. In the stop state, both motors are 0, so there's no power to it and it'll just stop. In the spin state, one motor is at -50 and the other one's at 50, and it will do the 0 turn radius. And in the reverse state, both motors are at -100 and it will just go backwards.